The first thing that hit me wasn't the headline. It wasn't the word, arrest. It wasn't even the letters DUI staring back like they wanted a reaction. It was the silence that followed. That heavy, uncomfortable silence where you blink twice and whisper, no, not her. Because for a lot of fans, Liz Woods wasn't just another reality TV face. She was someone people rooted for. Someone who cried on camera in a way that felt real. Someone who looked broken but kept standing. And now, buried beneath police reports and leaked screenshots, there it was. A moment that could change everything. One night, one decision, one siren in the dark. And suddenly, the story we thought we knew about Liz Woods cracked wide open. I know what you're thinking right now. Reality stars mess up all the time. This isn't shocking. We've seen worse. But stay with me, because this one hurts differently. This one feels personal. And by the time we get to the end of this story, you might not be asking what Liz did. You might be asking how it ever got this far. When the news first broke, it didn't explode the way scandals usually do. It crept out quietly, almost like someone didn't want it noticed. A local report here, a blurry screenshot there, a fan whispering in a comment section, "Is this real?" And for a few hours, maybe even a full day, people weren't sure what to believe. Because Liz Woods has been many things on 90 Day Fiancé, but reckless wasn't one of the labels fans used lightly. She was emotional, yes. Vulnerable, sometimes messy in love, but this felt like a betrayal of the image people had defended for years. Before we go any further, I want to say this. I'm not here to tear Liz down. I'm here because this story matters. It matters to the fans who saw themselves in her. And if you're someone who's been following these stories with us, who cares about what happens behind the filters and edits, then take a second and make sure you're subscribed to Talent Zone updates. Not because of drama, but because we tell the stories the human way. The uncomfortable way. The honest way. Now let's rewind, because you can't understand this arrest unless you understand Liz. Before the cameras, before the memes, before the endless debates online, Liz Woods was just a woman trying to survive. A single mom, a server working long hours. Someone who didn't come from money or privilege. Her life wasn't polished, it was raw. And when she appeared on 90 Day Fiancé, people didn't fall in love with her because she was perfect. They fell in love because she wasn't. She cried openly. She doubted herself. She stayed too long in situations most of us would have run from, because she believed love could fix things. And that's a dangerous belief when the world is watching. Her relationship with Ed was painful to witness for many fans. It wasn't just about arguments or awkward moments. It was about power, insecurity, and emotional exhaustion. Week after week, viewers watched Liz get chipped away at. Her confidence, her voice, her sense of self. And every time she walked away, she somehow came back. Fans begged her not to. Comment sections turned into group therapy sessions. You deserve better. Please choose yourself. This is breaking my heart. But here's the thing about trauma. It doesn't disappear when the cameras stop rolling. After the show, Liz tried to rebuild. New beginnings, new smiles on Instagram, quotes about healing and strength. From the outside, it looked like she was finally choosing herself. But healing isn't a straight line. And sometimes, the cracks don't show until something breaks. The night of the DUI arrest didn't start as a headline. It started as a normal night. No red carpet, no paparazzi, just Liz, a car, and a road that didn't forgive mistakes. According to reports, she was pulled over after officers noticed signs of impairment. What followed was a field sobriety test, a breathalyzer, and then the words no one ever expects to hear directed at them. You're under arrest. Imagine that moment. The flashing lights, the confusion, the shame creeping in before the reality fully sinks. This wasn't a dramatic reality TV scene with producers nearby. This was real life, cold and unforgiving. When the arrest details surfaced, social media didn't just react. It erupted. TikTok videos started popping up within hours. Some fans were stunned, replaying old clips of Liz crying on the show, overlaying them with captions like, "She needed help, not hate." Others weren't as kind. "I defended her for years and this is what she does." One comment read. Another said, This is why I stopped believing in reality TV redemption arcs. On X, formerly Twitter, the tone was sharper. Liz Woods DUI wasn't on my bingo card, one user posted. Another wrote, "This is what untreated trauma looks like." And then there were the debates. Was this a one-time mistake or a pattern we missed? Should fans still support her? Where does accountability end and compassion begin? Instagram was quieter but heavier. Liz's posts filled with comments that felt like a mix of concern and disappointment. "Please get help. I'm rooting for you, but this scared me. As a mom, this breaks my heart." And buried between them were comments from people who clearly felt personally hurt. "I saw myself in you. This hurts." Reddit threads went deep, like they always do. People analyzed timelines, body language from past episodes, old interviews where Liz talked about stress and anxiety. One user wrote, "I don't think this came out of nowhere. I think we just didn't want to see it." And that sentence stuck with me. Because here's the first layer of this story. The surface layer. Liz Woods was arrested for DUI. That's the fact. It's serious. It's dangerous. There's no sugarcoating that. Driving under the influence puts lives at risk. Full stop. But then comes the second layer. The emotional exhaustion. Liz has spoken before about anxiety, about feeling overwhelmed, about struggling to find her footing after fame. Reality TV doesn't come with a manual for how to process sudden judgment from millions of strangers. The pressure to appear okay can be crushing. Then there's the third layer. Isolation. Fame can be loud, but it can also be lonely. When the show ends, the attention fades, and the support systems aren't always there. Friends disappear, opportunities dry up, and the internet moves on to the next scandal. For someone already emotionally fragile, that silence can be terrifying. The fourth layer is accountability. This is where things get uncomfortable. Trauma explains behavior, but it doesn't excuse it. Liz made a choice that night. A dangerous one, and facing that truth is part of any real healing. Fans who say this isn't a big deal are missing the point. It is a big deal. And pretending otherwise helps no one. But here's the part nobody was ready for. The fifth layer. The one that changes how this story feels. Sources close to Liz revealed that the arrest came during one of the lowest periods of her life. A time when she was reportedly struggling behind closed doors, feeling like she had failed not just herself, but her daughter. That night wasn't about partying. It wasn't about recklessness for fun. It was about someone who felt lost, making a decision she will have to live with forever. I know what you're thinking. Plenty of people struggle and don't get behind the wheel. And you're right, that's why this is so painful. Because Liz knew better, and that knowledge doesn't make the mistake smaller. It makes it heavier. Since the arrest, Liz has been quiet. No dramatic statement, no excuse-filled apology video. Just silence. And sometimes, silence is the loudest response of all. It suggests reflection, or fear, or both. So where does this leave the fans? The ones who defended her. The ones who saw her as a symbol of resilience. Do you walk away? Do you wait? Do you hold space for growth while still demanding accountability? And where does this leave Liz? Is this the wake-up call that changes everything? Or the moment that defines her in ways she never wanted? I keep thinking about something a fan commented that night. "I don't hate her, I'm just scared for her." And maybe that's the most honest reaction of all. Because this story isn't just about a DUI. It's about what happens when pain goes untreated. When strength is performative. When someone keeps saying they're fine until one bad night proves they weren't. If you've ever defended someone only to feel let down later, you know this feeling. That mix of sadness, anger, and hope that they'll somehow turn this around. If you've ever made a mistake that didn't reflect who you wanted to be, you know that feeling too. So I'll leave you with this. Can someone be both responsible for their actions and deserving of compassion? Can this moment become the start of real change instead of the end of a story? And if Liz could speak to her fans right now, what do you think she'd say? Because the road ahead is still unwritten. And whether this becomes a footnote or a turning point depends on what happens next. If you're still here, thank you for listening with an open heart. These stories matter because people matter. And sometimes, the hardest truths are the ones that remind us how human we all are.